Hello, hello. This is part two because you know what? When Zoom doesn't want to play, clink, or maybe it was just a spooky Halloween craziness. Oops, hang on.
Because you know what?
This is
When
just absolutely
Zoom does
fun. Okay, where was I? I think we had just talked about Vietnam on Hanoi Hilton, and now on to another story. Actually, this story happened right here in this room. And let me just have a cocktail. Witch's brew. So welcome back to part two. Again, I apologize. It literally cut out on me as well. So, here's this story. I also am a massage therapist. And so when I'm not doing psychic mediumship work, readings, teaching, I do massage as well. And this is all part of the ministry of healing that I have found myself in. And one day, you get clients all the time, very interesting. Some chat, some don't chat. This particular one was chatty and had an interesting tattoo. And, we tattoo people are like, oh, what's the meaning behind such and such? And so I noticed on his back were a couple of feathers. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Kind of looked, indigenous of the American Indians. I thought, it's very interesting. What is that meaning for you? And he says, oh, there's some eyes in there too. And I said, oh, I didn't see the eyes. But he said, those are wolf eyes. I said, oh, okay. Now I see the eyes. I said, is the wolf your spirit animal? He said, oh, yes, it is my spirit animal. And I, am half American Indian, half African American. So he has an interesting past. He's all into the shamanism, which is the spirituality of the, indigenous people of the Americas. So we had a good connection. He understood what I did. We're basically doing the same thing, dealing with spirituality, dealing with the ability to communicate. He's doing it through shamanism and spirit animals, and I do it through spirit. So it was wonderful, great. I said, oh, this is great. Kindred spirits, having fun talking about the paranormal, the metaphysical, whatever you want to call it. And so as I was, happy and started continuing the massage, I was aware of two women in spirit. And I thought, okay, I can share this with them. And typically I'm closed when I'm working as a massage, but this I opened up just by chatting with him naturally. And I thought, wow, I'm going to share this on the set. I'm aware of two women. And so I told him about their personalities. I said, I get this one very kind of very social, chatty, very friendly African-American woman. She's somebody who'd be the fun to party, get things going. And I said, the other woman is a very quiet, proud, solemn energy from her. I didn't see the big chatty, social woman. It's just very different. So I said, that's what I've picked up. Two women here. Are you familiar with those two? He said, oh, yes. Those are my two favorite women. Both of them are my grandmothers. So I thought, oh, that's really cool. It's great. It was interesting to connect with their energy. So I went ahead and continued on with the massage. And as I was doing another part of the body, I heard, as part of what I do is I hear, I sense, I feel, and sometimes I will see, but see inside rather than out in the room. I actually heard a little message. It said, music is important. I thought, well, that's pretty generic. I'm just going to keep it to myself and continue with the massage. I don't want to, there was no groundbreaking message there, but it was like, oh, okay, I'll just continue on. And then I heard it again. As soon as I said, no, I'm not going to do it. Music is important. So I thought, okay, if I don't give this message, she's going to hound me until I do. So I said, excuse me, I just got a message from your grandmother that says, music is important. Does that mean anything to you? And he said, he laughed. He said, yes, it does. Music is very important. I got the musical gifts and interest from my grandmother. And now I also am into music and a songwriter and so forth. So he said, yeah, definitely. So she kind of like she was bragging on him. Music is important because she got, he got it from me basically. So that's cute. I think a wonderful message from one of the spirits. And so I said, okay, to myself, I've got 2 live spirits here I've connected with. I'm going to have some little fun. I said, ladies, in my mind, I said, okay, I want you to see if you can interact with anything in the room. Anything you want. I mean, you don't need to move the heavy lamp or anything. There's a nice little Kleenex tissue in the corner, see if you could do something. I knew better than to get spirit to do stuff like that. Typically, they can't do that. It's a different vibration. And so I don't know why. It's the curiosity. I just want to know that you're here. Just try to do something. And I thought, oh, that's kind of ridiculous. Kevin Paul, don't be asking those silly questions. You already know they're here. You've communicated with them. And so I said, I'll just kind of let it go. But I'm still kind of looking around, see if anything moved. Nothing did. So I was massaging the feet, for example. I was just obsessed with, okay, I want to know that you're here. Even though I know you're here, I've contacted you. I've picked up on you. He's confirmed it. I've gotten a message. But I still want to get some more confirmation. Know that you're here. Do whatever you want. Interact with our world any way you want. You don't have to move anything. I know it's hard sometimes for us to move things. Just do whatever you can. So I said, okay, I'll just leave it at that. And as I finished, I stood up to move to another part of the table. And behind me, my phone is on the charging station there. And typically, if you see, someone has called, light up since it's on quiet. And as I stood up, I saw something popped up. Oh, it's a text message. And as I was there, it popped up, and I just kind of just looked down at it and thought, and it was just one word. It said, here. I thought, here. And then I panicked. I thought, oh God, maybe I double booked. And this is another client coming saying that they're here, they're going to ring the bell. And I thought, oh God, I double booked. I panicked. I thought, oh shit, I better find out who this person is. So it's like, give me another 30 minutes, please. So I opened up my phone quietly and just looked at it and scrolled up. And I saw here, and I thought, okay, who was this person? Why did I not have them on my books? And I looked at the name and I said, it's the man on the table. It's from him. And I looked over where his phone was on the table. I said, that's where he put his phone. And he said he put it in airplane mode an hour and a half ago so that he wouldn't be disturbed. And I thought, oh, well played, ladies. Well played. I've got to figure out what's going on here. And so I thought, and I asked him, I said, did you text here before you got here? He said, oh yeah, I texted here, before I arrived, let you know I was ready to ring the doorbell, for example. And I thought, interesting how spirit delayed that message until when I stood up, turned around after begging to get a message that you're here. Show me, give me some proof that you're here. We always do that. Lo and behold, I get one word, here. I thought, ooh, well played. A great way to delay and to work with the energy and technology that we have now. I think I want to show you what that screen looks like. Here it is. Bink. At the very bottom, you can see 7 o'clock. See you very soon. And at 8 o'clock is when this person came. And at 9:26, I just got that one word, here. So I think that was an amazing experience with spirit. And it's really kind of, I do that all the time. I always kind of like, let me know, see if you can give me some information. And typically it is not like it's kind of in your daily life, something pops up. It's not like they're going to magically make something happen, but they work with what's going on. And lo and behold, there you are. Confirmation from beyond. So it's a fantastic way of receiving confirmation. So let's see, one of my last stories before I get booted off again from Zoom into Facebook Live is when on this trip to Southeast Asia, I went to Cambodia. And in Cambodia, there's this great place everybody loves to go to. Everyone goes to, actually, if you're a tourist. It's called Angkor Wat, which is a really, really, really old place out in the middle of nowhere. And so everyone goes there. It looks gorgeous. And so I decided I would open up just to see what I could pick up on, because, I did it at the Vietnam Hanoi Hilton. And so I said, I'm going to go ahead and open up and see what I pick up there. And so what I did is I just intention, okay, I am open to receive, open to pick up on whatever is available, and interested in either communicating with me, or am I going to just read the natural energy here, the residual energy, or is it going to be active spirit? So as I opened up, I was aware immediately of two spirits, one on my left, one on my right. The one on the left was a Buddhist monk, and the one on the right was a Hindu priest. And these people have occupied that location, centuries and centuries ago. And it was first built by the Hindus, and then the Buddhists took over. That's just the way life goes out there in the world, right? New folks take over. So I was getting a sense from the Buddhist monk and the Hindu priest. The Hindu priest started talking first and saying how beautiful this place was when he was there. And that's the Hindu. And the Buddhist monk was also saying, how much more beautiful it was once they took over. And the Hindu priest was not having it. He was like, these people have not done a good job. They've ruined it. They've ruined the energy. They've ruined what we've done, the sacred space that we created. And the Buddhist monk was starting to, I get a sense of this arguing. It's almost like they're trying to convince me that, they did a better job. Their people did a better job than the other people. So I had this little argument going on. And I just thought, wow, interesting. At some point, the Hindu priest left because it was, or was it the Buddhist? I'll have to recount that one. But one of them left, said, I'm out of here. I'm not going to argue anymore. And it was fascinating. These two active spirit energies there. And I got a sense that they were actually still at war, and fighting. That felt like they had two different parts of the location where they were kind of like hanging out, protectors of their location, still there and still fighting and arguing among themselves, but still protecting their sacred space, but two different faiths. Let me see if I've got, hang on for a second, folks. I don't want to lose you again. Let's just see here. I'm going to try to share. And if we lose you again, I'll sort of, but let's see if I can get a sense of sharing the video details, share, and we'll do.
Hi, I'm Kevin Paul, psychic and medium. I'd like to travel to unique places in the world and open up to read the energy of the location. Sometimes I come in contact with spirits, which is exactly what happened at this holy site called Angkor Wat in Cambodia. Built in the 12th century, Angkor Wat is the largest religious monument in the world, Originally built as a royal Hindu state temple and capital city, a war later transformed it into a Buddhist temple by the end of the 12th century, and it continues today. At this site, once I opened up, I became aware of two spirits who would be my tour guides. I thought, how nice this would be. I didn't see them, but I felt and heard them. The one on the left was a Buddhist monk, and the one on the
Built
right
in the
was a
12th
Hindu
century,
holy person.
and what was the
These two
largest rose
spirits
this
told me
be?
that they were
I
there
didn't
to
s-
help protect their holy site. Again, I thought to myself, how nice. Of course, both spirits heard me. While I was walking, I heard the Hindu holy man talk about how beautiful and holy this site was when they built and occupied it. The Buddhist monk then told me how much better the site was once they occupied it as their holy site. The Hindu holy man disagreed and argued that the Buddhists defaced it when they took it over. The spirit of the Buddhist monk was not willing to argue with the Hindu spirit and just left me. That's when I understood that these two religious groups were at war with each other there and occupying separate locations on the property. In just those few minutes, these two spirits provided me a unique insight into this location. While this beautiful site looked peaceful, the spirit energy that remained there was not. Thank you for listening, and I invite you to follow me on my other adventures in the spirit world.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. So I wanted to share that with you. Some of wonderful adventures around the world. And that's part of my exploring the world of the paranormal. So I want to thank you all for joining me on this special Halloween show. I really enjoyed sharing my paranormal adventures with you. I think part 1 and part 2. And you can find me on my website, kevinpaulpsychicmedium.com, on Facebook, Instagram, all Kevin Paul Psychic Medium. And please check out my YouTube channel, which has got all of my shows, my live shows, and other special events from investigations and more. That's again on YouTube, Kevin Paul Psychic Medium. Some upcoming shows that I'm going to be doing include some interviews with people who have helped us and will help us actually understand what chaos magic is. Also, someone going to help us understand the healing, what a healer and healing is all about. And then finally, another show about with a clinical psychiatrist from the Maryland Psychiatric Research Center, talking about science and the paranormal and the study that they recruited me for in August. So those are the upcoming shows. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to learn from these folks, and that's what I'm all about, is about education and learning about the many different aspects of the world of paranormal, metaphysics, spirituality. So it's a pleasure to be able to help you learn and educate you, as well as me educating myself in this world, because we're always learning, and as we should, especially in the spiritual journey that we're on. So thank you so much for joining, and happy Halloween. Take care. Bye.